The following podcast contains explicit mom language. Discretion is advised.
Hi, and welcome to the No Bullshit Moms podcast, where we dive into the world of motherhood with a twist. Join us as we explore the unfiltered, unapologetic, and sometimes controversial side of being a mom. We're here to keep it real and push the boundaries of traditional motherhood. So grab your coffee, put on your favorite pair of mom jeans, and get ready to embrace your inner edgy mom.
She's fancy, I'm trashy, as together, we're keeping it classy. Let's dive in.
Welcome
to No Bullshit Moms. First of all, can we take a second to talk about our song?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Because it's so good.
Guys, if you don't follow us on Facebook, that's okay, because we're going to drop the song in our pod.
Yeah.
As like a separate, it's not going to be an episode. It's just going to be the song, and then we'll still drop an episode, but you got to listen to it.
It's so good.
So good. And thanks to Drew for
the
putting
cameraman,
it together.
Has done some incredible things. We also are changing platforms. I don't know how that will affect our podcast. We'll also keep you updated on that as well.
And really fast, you probably might hear kids in the background. And if you do,
There's
just roll
kids.
with the punches.
It's just how it rolls with us. But yeah, our song.
So good.
It's so
I want to set it as my ringtone when you call me. Dari and Mindy. My dog Mac was walking around for like 2 days. Mindy's the trashy one. Dari's the fancy one. Woo! It's so good.
I was listening to it on my way to work.
I listened to it like 100 times. I've always wanted my own song with my BFF.
We now have one.
Mm-hmm. So good.
It's so funny. Okay, so today's episode, we're going to talk about life standards, mom standards.
Yep, and
that society puts on us.
The expectations that society, the world puts on us as women.
Yeah.
In general, women in general.
Yeah.
But most importantly, women, mothers.
Yeah.
And like, for me, I have spent majority of my life looking at these expectations that society says we need to have. Like, for instance, they're living their best life over there. For instance, we're told that we need to have a certain size of a family. You know, especially living in Utah, it's a very religious state. 5 kids, 6 kids.
You got a young age.
Yes. You got to start young. Get married young.
I was always told that, and I didn't have kids till later.
Me either. And I never got married. I did it backwards. But and the same as owning a house or having so much money placed in your savings, you know, the expectation that we're taught very young in life is almost unachievable unless you're living that fairy tale life.
Yeah.
I mean, an average person probably does not own a home. It's impossible right now.
Yeah, it is.
I rent.
I can't afford a home. I rent from my parents. Jojo?
The kids are over there playing with kinetic
They're having
sand.
their best life.
Yeah, they are.
Anyways, it's true. Like, I can't afford a home, and the standard is that, you know, by now I should have a home.
Yes.
I should have had a home 4 years ago.
Yeah, I'm going to be 40. I'm going to become 40. I've never owned a home.
But I cannot afford one.
I barely own a car.
I can't afford a home.
See, but so my rent that I rent to rent my townhome
is more than a home.
The rent is insane.
Yeah.
We're talking pretty close to $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Now, I could get a mortgage for that. That's a mortgage payment.
Yeah.
But the issue is no bank is going to give me a home.
Yeah.
I can sit there and show them that I can afford a home, but they make these expectations of owning a home so insane.
Yeah.
We should have bought a home 30 years ago.
You know, we should have done the smart thing and bought a home during COVID.
I know, but we didn't think about that.
No, the only person that did that was Drew, the camera guy.
I was out there panic buying toilet paper when I should have been panic buying a house.
I was busy having a baby.
But even back then, because I didn't learn the value of your credit. As soon as I hit 18, I'm like, credit cards.
Yep.
I wasn't properly taught that when you get a credit card, you make sure you pay it back. Don't go over this limit. Stay under this. You're going to get interest. And I was pretty psychotic too. So I had a lot of medical debt. And so I destroyed my credit by the age of 19. And it is now taking me, well, once I had a kid, then I became more, I need to get my shit together.
Yeah.
So then I started working on it and my credit's good enough. I really could go out and show that I have good credit. The issue is I don't have the down payment for a house. I don't have the steady income because I am an entrepreneur and I work several different things. I don't have these credentials that they're looking for to show them that I could own a home. Not only that, but a 2-bedroom home is going at like $800,000.
They're so expensive.
So I rent and I'm fine with it.
You know, I live in my mom's basement. My mom built a basement apartment for my family.
It's kind of like an in-law apartment.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
They built it for us when we had Joe, because when we brought her home, she was on oxygen. She had a lot of needs. I needed a lot of support. And it was also during COVID, so we didn't take her out. We didn't go places, you know, like we were very inside for like a solid year with Joe. But now, like looking at homes and trying to like decide when we're going to like buy one, we've just gotten so comfortable here and we're able to like, you know, I like having my mom upstairs.
Yes.
I like having, you know, grandpa upstairs. I like them being able to watch the kids grow up, hang out with them whenever they want. Joe loves to just open the door and go upstairs and hang out with Nana and Papa, and it's fine.
See, and that's very important you say that. You're comfortable with the space that you have. Not everybody wants the fancy big houses.
No,
we don't.
Well,
want
see,
that.
and the thing is like societal wise that you're told that you should have a home. You need to do this. You need to do this. Well, also think about all the responsibilities of having a home too. There's, you know, on top of just a mortgage, you've got all the other bills on top of it, which I do pay. I pay rent here. I pay, you know, I help out wherever I can. I pay for different things that we can help out with, whatever. But lawn care.
See, it's the perks of renting. I don't, stuff. If my washer and dryer goes out at my townhome, they'll pay for a whole new one. If something breaks,
you know what?
They pay for it.
My drain in my in my tub was clogged. I think the kids had stuck like a Barbie shoe down there. And I called my stepdad last night and I was like, can you come fish out a Barbie shoe? But my husband was working. So like it worked out. There was somebody here to help me. He got it out.
See?
He got it out. The tub is draining. It's draining. It is not filling up when you're taking a shower.
Mine usually stops draining because of my hair.
Well, I do have hairy kids, so that was part of the factor too. But I was just like, I was grateful that he was like able just to come right down and help me. And then my mom came down. We all sat here for a minute. We chatted, and then they went upstairs. You know, it was nice. It was fun. If I lived on my own, you know, then he'd have to drive over and help me.
See, it's just like when I was growing up, when I was little, I had this fantasy in my head on what my life was going to look like when I hit 20.
Well, because that's what we're told.
We're told to get married once we graduate high school and start having kids right away, but make sure you're having those kids a year apart so you can have 7 of them.
Yeah.
But I did not own a home. I did not get married. I had my kid later on in life where the other parent bolted. My life did not turn out whatsoever like a vision that I had planned.
Yeah.
But what I've learned through the years, it doesn't matter.
No.
Because my life is just as good as it. You know what I mean?
Joe was planned. Like I planned on when I was going to have Joe after me and Tyler had decided that, yeah, we wanted another kid and I wanted to have a kid. But did I... societal wise, did it go the way that I thought it was going to go?
Probably not.
Hell no.
Nope.
Hell no.
Your childbirth did not happen the way you wanted it to.
No.
It was complete opposite.
It was fucking 3.5 months too early. It did not happen the way that I thought it was going to.
And honestly,
I didn't think I was going to be in a pandemic.
I will be honest. When you had Joe, I didn't think she was going to survive.
A lot of people didn't.
I remained positive for you at that time.
Yeah.
But I really had like this fear that she wasn't going to survive.
Yeah.
But she did.
Yeah.
Look, she's over there playing with mine.
We're going to do an episode on Joe and like premature babies here coming up soon. But I did not expect that to happen. But at the same time, I thought, me and Tyler would have it figured out to where we'd be able to buy a house in a few years and we'd have it all. And then, we ended up moving in here.
Mm-hmm.
And
my backup plan
is my plan to buy a house someday. Fuck yeah, I want a house someday.
I'm waiting for everything to crash.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to build my own house at this point. Just get some wood and nail it together. How hard could it be? If you think about it, though, houses that we go spend $1 million on.
Yeah.
First of all, the bank acts like they made the land. No, God himself made the land. You don't own the land, right? And wood. It's wood, okay, that you are making probably from trees that God made, but you're going to charge all this money for wood, for a
you're
house.
Getting the trees off somebody's land.
Okay, but realistically, you don't own the land. God owns the fucking land.
I'm not going to get into this part with you.
I think about it all the time. I'm like,
we're not even going to go there.
So for a 2-bedroom house, you're going to charge $800,000. 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And that wood that I'm paying for is starting to rot. It is not worth $800,000. I will go make my own goddamn tree house. You know what I mean?
You still have to buy the wood.
I'll buy the wood, but I'm going to buy it at a cheaper cost. I'm going to use my coupons.
But societal wise, they say that moms, we're supposed to have it all together. We're supposed to.
I don't.
Like you were telling me, like we're supposed to get up and make them a 5-star breakfast, and we're supposed to do these things.
Well, it's social media.
Yeah,
social media makes it look like we're failing.
Yeah, because all they post is the shit that's all fantastic, but not real. After you turn your camera off, what are you doing?
Right.
Get the fuck out of the kitchen.
I can get on social. I have slowed down on social media because I realized social media is fake.
Well,
people are posting fake lives.
But also, we try really hard to use social media for the podcast, but we're not big social media people.
I used to be the one that would use Facebook as a diary.
Yeah.
I was too desperate for attention. But I've grown up. I've matured. I'm going to be 40.
I've never used it that much. I've posted and I've done things, but I'm more of like a reposter.
I think a lot of the time, we want our lives to look like those Pinterest moms. We want it to look like we're going places because we have this shame and this guilt that we're not meeting the expectation society says we need to be. Like savings account. You know how much money I have in my savings? $12. How much
I have in my savings? None.
And I'm okay with that.
So I was reading an article that is, why is there so much pressure and, things on moms? And a lot of the things that I was reading about is like historical content. Historically, women are the people who take care of the kids, take care of the house, do the laundry, clean the house, like do all of it.
I wish that was my only job.
I'd wear a fucking apron.
I will make you a loaf of bread.
I will bake you a
I will hand roll those. I will fold your laundry however you want. I would give to be a homemaker.
But the one reason that it was historically, motherhood has always been seen as women's primary role and responsibility as a result. And women who are mothers are expected to prioritize their children's needs and well-being above their own and sacrifice their own interests and goals for the sake of their children.
But that is what puts us in ruts that we had the last episode.
But let's talk about this because you and I just recently came out of a mom rut.
Uh-huh.
We came out of a big mom rut, right? Where we both were like, fuck everything.
Yeah, actually, I think I'm out of mine. I think I'm back in my game. So yeah I can.
Let's talk about some of the mom goals that we set for ourselves.
Okay, well,
or not even mom goals, just goals that we set for ourselves.
Well, first of all, let's give Laya. I came over to do the pod today, and my ride or die over there, she decided to get us both. And I'm going from trashy to classy real fast here because I have never used a planner in my entire existence. Okay, and today I sat down with this cute planner that my ride or die got for me, and I feel so organized right now. It's like, oh, this is how I don't forget about my dentist appointment. Or, my kid has to be to school at 7:45. Yeah. I'm going to put that in there so I'm not late anymore. But
you'll still be late.
I did. For me, it isn't about what society wants for me.
No.
It's about what I want for myself.
Yeah.
And all I can do is meet my own expectations. All I can do is set some goals for myself and meet them.
Yeah.
And it isn't about buying a home to me. That is not in my planner for 2025.
Mine either.
But what is in my planner for 2025 is to maybe save some extra money. It is to get myself out of credit card debt.
Yeah.
It is to take my kid on a nice vacation this year.
Yeah.
It is to do the laundry. It's to make all my appointments on time.
Yeah.
You know, and that.
But we're also, now, as you're saying that, we also looked at our planner. Now, we consider the pod time for ourselves most of the time.
I love it.
You know, it's like a time that you and I get to sit down, we get to catch up, we get to do the pod, we get to talk about whatever the fuck we want, even though we talk about whatever the fuck we want 12 times a day.
Yes.
But we record it.
But now we just share it with others.
But then we looked at it and we were like, okay, we have signed up for the gym.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to start going to the gym because Mindy is joining me on my gastric journey here.
I want abs.
And I want my abs to show. So we signed up for the gym and we penciled in.
Yep.
When we're going to the gym.
Yep.
We've got it figured out. Mindy's going to start taking a day off.
It's called Lazy Day. So in my 2005 planner, it comes with stickers, guys. And there's a sticker that says Lazy Day. And you know what I did? I just opened it up and I said, this day. And I put Lazy Day. And it feels really good. I am looking forward to that day.
That's like a self-care day, right?
It is.
Like that's a day like...
Because self-care looks different to everybody.
It
so
does.
Some people go, I'm going to go to get a massage.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go get my nails done. And I'm going to go grocery shopping without the kids. That can look like self-care.
Yeah.
To me, self-care is looking like depression. And I kid you not. Because I have to be able to just veg out.
Yeah.
Spend all day watching TV. Don't do my laundry. Don't give a crap about the dishes.
But then we've also talked about some things like, you know, yes, we're prioritizing our kids 24/7 all the time, no matter what. My kid comes first before anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to try and start setting time aside for ourselves where I think moms and everybody, not even just moms, everybody should do this. Where like me and Mindy are like, okay, we're going to get a hotel once a month, once every 2 months.
What
whatever.
did we call it? What did we say that it was? It was you said it. You called it something. A reset.
A reset.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do a reset. We're going to stay in a hotel. We're going to either work on our pod.
Eat a bunch of
TV.
bananas.
We're not going to eat candy because I can't. We're going to
have some
wine, cheese, and nuts. I don't know. But we're going to have a reset day where we don't have anybody to call. We don't have anybody to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to do our own thing.
Yep. We have to.
Yeah.
But there's no reason that we can't still go, okay, I need a massage. Okay. Because when I'm sewing, I am hunched over my sewing machine all the time.
Yeah.
And it messes up my neck.
Yeah.
Right. So I need to get a massage. So
I need a massage.
How often do we look and say, as I'm going through my planner, I feel so good right now. In fact, I don't even feel trashy in this moment. I feel so put together.
This is what it feels like to be me.
Is this what it feels like to be fancy?
Yeah.
I'm so digging it. In fact, though, my perspective and how I've looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, I really want sushi. I want a massage. I don't get my nails done because I can't sew with them.
Mm-hmm.
A pedicure. I really need some new sweats, pajamas, because that's what I wear 24/7.
Yeah.
But then I only give myself the opportunity to do one of them. Because selfishly, I'm like, I'm taking away from my child's needs.
Yeah.
When in reality, I'm not. So why can't I have all of it?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, a lazy day is completely different than going and getting a massage.
Yeah.
Which I can do a massage, invest in myself, and still take a lazy day for myself. I can take myself out to dinner and next week still go get that massage and the next week still have a lazy day.
Yeah.
So obviously I look at my child and I make sure, she's got clothes, she's got food, she's got everything and her needs are met.
Yeah.
But it is so important to look at our own needs and make sure we've got clothes, we've got food, mental health is in check. We have to do it just as equally as we do with our children. If not, our mental health suffers, and then our children will suffer because they're watching us suffer.
Yeah. Well, I feel like our kids see how we feel, and it
Mhm.
also reflects on them, and then they're feeling the same way, but they don't know it because
How many times have you had a bad day and you're going, then you turn around because you're having a bad day, and your child is emotional and freaking out, and you're like, what the hell is going on with you?
every day of my life.
But then you check in with yourself and you're like, they're not stupid.
No.
They know that mom's going through something or she's having a bad day.
Yep.
How many times my child would come and she's got $5, and she'd come into the room and she'd hand me the $5 and she'd say, go do something for yourself. They're not stupid. They know.
Yeah.
And they want to see us just as happy as they want to be happy.
Yeah. Which is why when I thought about doing the mom reset and doing like a day to 2 days where we have someone who can watch our kids, we just go, we're not even going anywhere really. We're just going to go stay in a hotel, not even far from home, maybe 45 minutes away, whatever. We're just going to go do shit for ourselves. Like there's places that we always say we're going to go, or we set these plans that we're going to like get a babysitter. We're going to go do it.
And we don't.
We don't do it because we never
But
find
that's what the planners
to.
are for, guys, because when we set something and we say, okay, like we're going to go to the circus. Now that's with their kids.
Yeah.
But in the past, I would have called Dari and I said, I got some tickets to the circus. We're going to go. We never would have gone.
No.
But the fact that we're putting it in our planner, what our goal is, and I would say it's the same for both. When we goes in our planner, we are going to show up for what is in our planner.
Yeah. So like, the gym is a hard one because it's something that's completely new.
The gym is going to take me a month.
Yeah.
At its finest, just to even know how to work any of the machines.
Same. But it's one of those things that's out of our comfort zone.
But we've been talking about it for a hot minute.
We've been talking about it for like 4 years.
Yeah, but we're really doing it.
Yeah. We're really going to do it. We're going to be really fucking trashy when we both go because we don't know what we're doing. But we're going to go.
I'm going to be showing up in my Care Bear sweats.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Of course you would have Care Bear sweats. But we're going to go.
I have Dumbo ones too.
Of course you do. But we're going to figure it out. We're just going to, we're going to do it. And we're going to try and do new things this year where we're going to set those times aside. We're going to go do those things. Like,
and a lot of this too, because I think that a lot of us are kind of in this same boat where a lot of us are just, unless you are a trust fund baby, a lot of us look at things like we look at our finances and then we go, we can or cannot do that. A lot of things you can do for yourself. You do not have to have money to do that.
I learned something last year that I want to use, throughout my life that we did was Tyler and I, it was summertime. We were sitting outside. School had just got out. He got home from work and we're sitting there. And I said, I really just want to go away. I want to go away. Like I was feeling mom ruddish at the time. Like
itching to get out. To do something
itching
different.
to get out. And I feel like I spend a lot of time in my house because I work. And then I come home, I sleep, I hang out with Joe, we play Barbies, we did the whole thing.
You are in your house a lot, and I'm never in mine.
And so I was like, I want to go somewhere. So that night he had gotten paid. He was like, where do you want to go? I booked an Airbnb in St. George. The next morning we left. We took food from our fridge, we put it in a cooler, and whatever I took is what we made. We didn't spend a lot of money when we went out. We went out to dinner one time, and obviously we bought coffee because I buy coffee everywhere. But
multiple times a day.
We didn't spend a ton of money just to go and get out. It for us, like going to St. George is a tank of gas. That wasn't that expensive. So it was nice to get out. We went and swam. We hung out with our kid. We did random shit. We didn't have anywhere or anything to do besides be in that moment.
You weren't rushed.
No. And so I'm going to do that more. And I told you, like, we're going to
I'm coming the next time you go.
We're going to go and we're just going to have a good time. And it wasn't that expensive. The Airbnb literally cost us like $90.
It's not bad.
And it came with a pool and it was just, I got home and I was like, I'm good for a minute.
See, but society, we talk about these expectations. I sometimes have like this massive mom guilt because my kid does a lot of YouTube surfing and she follows a bunch of these rich ass kids, right? That are just rich because people like to watch them on YouTube.
Yeah.
But they plaster and it drives me crazy because kids like ours, that my child is lacking in any area of her life, but they go to Disneyland 6-7 times a year.
Yeah.
And my child hasn't even gone, and she's 8.
Mine either.
And I watch this and I feel this guilt. Like, okay, I'm a single mother here whose rent alone is what I make in a month, and then that's not food, that's not utilities, that's
your
not
rent is what it would cost for you just to go to Disneyland.
And so I'm lucky that I even have $12 in my savings account, right? But I make my ends meet. However, there isn't a lot left over to just first of all, my car wouldn't make it to California. There isn't a lot left over to offer a 7-day stay in Disneyland.
Yeah.
And so your guilt kicks in and you start feeling like, oh, I want to be able to be that person that can say, hey, we're going to Disneyland and we're going to go.
Yeah.
But what I've learned is it isn't where you're taking them. It's you spending time with them.
Yeah.
You could easily set a tent up in your house.
Yeah.
And get out marshmallows and roast them over your stove or cook them in your oven. And they would be just as stoked. Because it's the quality time that children are looking for.
You know what Joe and I have been doing when Tyler's working and it's just her and I on the weekends because her sister goes to her mom's.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe and I do movie nights together.
Mm-hmm.
So last night we watched Ratatouille. We ate Reese's in bed and she loves it. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite thing. We pop popcorn. We don't get out of bed. We watch a movie and it's our thing. And last night she rolled over and she was so tired. She was like falling asleep. She goes, Mom, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, fuck yeah. Dude, we watched Ratatouille. We didn't leave the bed. I didn't have to go anywhere.
Yep. And it's just like on New Year's Eve, I worked and then I went and picked her up and we went to the store. Well, we did go to the movies. We went and saw Moana that morning. But we went to the store and I let her choose any board game, right? Because I'm like, I haven't played a board game in forever. We don't have any board games. We have Slime. But she chose Clue out of all the games.
Yep.
And we played like 8 times.
Yeah.
And I looked over at her and she had like her pen and she's trying to guess who the killer was. And I thought, this is just as fun as getting on an airplane and going to a whole nother place because she's happy.
Yeah.
She's spending quality time. And that's really what children need.
Well, and society says that we're supposed to be doing all these expensive ass things when it's just not. It's not reality for a lot of people in the world.
No, it's not. It's not reality for me.
And that's why Tyler and I have done these smaller vacations with the kids. No, we don't get on an airplane. We can't afford to take all of that.
It's as simple as going to Yellowstone.
Yeah. But this year, I've told you, you're going with us on a few of them.
Oh, heck
you're
yeah.
going to come because it's that
I'm
time.
putting it in my planner.
Yes, bitch. But it's like, it's that time that we can all just go do something and we don't have to do.
You don't have to break the bank to do it.
No, you don't. Because
but if you're me,
and still have money.
If you're me, your car very well could break down.
That's why you're going to have to go with us. So your car.
That or get a rental.
That's why you're going to ride with us.
Hey, I did. This is totally off subject. I did get a new windshield yesterday.
You did.
I can see so clear now.
She did. She called me.
My windshield's been broke for like 2 years and it's shattered. And I finally got a new one. And I was like, now I feel like I'm so fancy. I drive and
you
I'm
called
like,
me and you're
hey.
like, see clearly now, the cracks are gone.
Yes. But we don't need to listen to what society wants. And we don't by any means. What I'm learning, and then it's sad that it is taking me 37 years to figure this out.
But you're figuring it out.
I'm figuring it out. I no longer, and when it clicked the other day, I was like, I feel so good.
Yeah.
We do not have to compare ourselves to any other person out there.
No.
Because your expectations that you have for you are not the expectations I have for myself.
Well, it's kind of like I told you when you were telling me this a minute ago before we started the pod, right? Is you were telling me about like how you want people to perceive you, like how society says that, basically like, I'm going to treat you however I want.
Yeah.
They tell you that I'm supposed to treat you nicely, but basically like,
yeah.
I put out how you're going to treat me.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of done these things my whole life anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Oh, you're talking about the one where I said we teach people how we want to be treated. And usually when we're being treated shitty, it's because we've allowed and have put that vibe out there and accepted that that's how we're going to be treated. But
society says that's how we're supposed to be.
Yes.
Right? It's like, oh, we're going to take whatever somebody does to us and just be polite back. Right?
Right. But the thing is,
yeah,
we don't have to say anything.
We don't have to say anything back. And when you were telling me this, I was kind of looking at you like, I already do that.
You really do.
I don't if somebody comes into my life and they're going to be an ass to me, I'm not going to sit there and let you be an ass to me. I won't accept it. I won't be nice to you.
I'm just not going to say anything.
I'll just kind of ignore you.
A week ago or something, you had said that because we're all imperfect. I have moments where I lose my living shit on people.
Well, I think we all do.
You can only handle so much.
Yeah.
And then you explode like a freaking time bomb, and whoever's in the way is going to get the wrath of it. That's just part of human existence, right?
Yep.
So I look at other people in my life and I'm like, I'm not going to take what you say to me personal, because I've been there and I've done that. And I have probably said some shitty things to other people myself. But you learn to love them for where they are, but you learn to respond with, okay.
Well, that was a goal that you and I set for ourselves this
year.
So
now I'm just like, someone comes at me and they're like, blah, 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 blah. I just short back and I go, okay.
Yeah. That was the goal you and I set for ourselves this year, is if people come at us or they do something, we're just going to say, okay. And I am learning to do that myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been working on that on my own for a couple years now, because before, if somebody had pissed me off, right? What? Bite your fucking head off.
Mm-hmm.
I'd kill you. And
I'm going to be the reason you're going to end up in therapy if you don't quit real fast.
Yeah. So I'm learning to just be like, okay, and it may eat at me for a few days. It may piss me off for a few days, but I'm not going to let it ruin me just because you said what you said.
Yep.
And if there is an opportunity, if somebody were to pull me aside and be like, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have done this, then I'm going to tell you why that would upset me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you exactly maybe that.
My favorite is when people come at you and they try to tell you how they feel, how you feel. They'll be like, you don't care about me, or you don't love me, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we can defend ourselves till we're black and blue in the face. But instead, you just smile. Just say, okay.
Yeah.
Because.
But you've been practicing this.
I have, but I'm practicing with the intent of not being triggered to the point that then I become them.
Yeah. But you've been practicing this, and we had a conversation about it today. And, what did you say? You said, I'm not going to let it get to me.
No.
And so,
because the bigger perspective of all of it is everybody's messed up. We all have trauma. We all act different. We all have different coping skills. So if somebody wants to say something shitty about myself, really all they're doing is showing me what kind of person they are. And they're not showing me what kind of person I am.
Yeah. But I think society-wise, and what society says that we're supposed to do as women, right, is take it.
Hell no. I don't have to take it. I don't have to accept it. But I don't have to be rude about it either.
Exactly.
I can literally just exit from the conversation.
I think society-wise, we're learning to not do that, but also do it in our own way.
Barry, if I took everything personal that has been said to me in my entire life, I would be in the state hospital.
Yeah, you and I both.
You have to find that. But you know what? But if everybody took everything that I have said to them and taken it personal, that would be bad too, because I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I say some mean shit sometimes.
Okay, so solutions to breaking the societal pressures that people put on moms, I would say, to release the pressures and empower yourself, you're setting boundaries and prioritizing self-care, which is exactly what you were talking about doing today, was setting a boundary and prioritizing your own self-care towards this person who is saying some things to you, right?
It's as far as, I don't even think that we're taught how to set a boundary. I think
it's a learned trait you have to learn on your own.
You have to teach yourself this is a boundary, right? Because we accept all this stuff.
Yeah.
That I've learned that a boundary for mine, if you're going to come at me and not stop, a boundary for me is I'm not going to respond.
Yeah.
And I won't respond until an individual can come at me with a little more maturity. I'm not even asking for full maturity. Just come at me as a real person, not like a child. And so the power in just not responding or the power in saying, hey, I'm not going to read this. I'm not going to engage is so strong.
But you're setting that standard for yourself.
Yes. And I set it for myself because it's not about avoiding it. It's about my mental health.
Yeah.
I don't want to read what you think of me. I don't need to, because then I'll sit there all damn day and I'll dwell on, they think I'm a narcissist. They think I'm this. They think I'm this. They think I'm this. And then I will literally start degrading myself. And then my day is destroyed and I'm emotionally in upheaval. So I've learned to go, I know who I am. I know where I'm going. I know the value I have. That is interesting that you think of that. You think of me like that, but I'm not going to respond.
Well, it's kind of like the basis on how we started this podcast, and the way that we explain to everybody is, I'm the fancy one, you're the trashy one, right?
Yeah.
And that's what society sees us as. This is like when we go out in
I
public.
am trashy.
But then also on this podcast, I've also explained how people look at me and perceive me.
Right.
And the standard of how they see me is generally always the same. I'm an asshole. I'm a bitch because I have RBF. Well, that's okay if you feel that way. And that's okay if that's what you see. But unless you get to know me, you're not really going to know. And
I know. I was with somebody the other day and they were like, why are you looking at me like that? I'm like, as I'm like mopping my floors, I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? How am I looking at you? They're looking at me like you hate me. I'm mopping my floors. Okay.
I'm focusing.
Like, I can't pay attention to every look that I have. Like, I'm listening. Yeah. I'm engaging. But then I say it a little too loud. And they're like, are you mad? Nope, I'm not mad.
Yeah.
As I smile, but I'm like, now I'm going to be a little mad because you are literally dissecting everything I do.
Yeah.
But it does come down before we get full off subject, because we usually do get off subject, right?
That's just how we roll.
This is society tells us how we respond. You do need to be kind. Okay. But there is sometimes the kindest thing you can do is not respond. The kindest thing you can do for yourself and them is to exit a conversation.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not selfish. It is not avoidance. It is, this right now is not beneficial for you or for me.
It's saying okay.
And so I care about myself and I'm going to exit it, and I care about you. Yeah. So I'm going to allow you to exit.
Well, and that's, we're doing that this year. We're trying to, we're not setting.
It's like somebody honks at you, right? And they flip you off. Okay. I'm going, hey, hi, have a great day. Love your tires. We cannot control what other people are going to do, but we can control what we're going to do.
So going back to, how to release these pressures and empower yourself is setting boundaries, like I said, and prioritizing self-care. Seek support and connection. I think you and I do that with each other. Mm-hmm. And if you have a friend or your husband or
it's
your
so
girlfriend
vital.
Or your boyfriend or whatever, seek that support. Tell them what you need. Tell them, if you're struggling.
Do you know how many times I call Dari and I'm like, listen, I just need to vent for a minute. And she doesn't try to change it. She listens. And if I say, what would you do? She would give me some advice on what she would do. But it's important to have that support system.
Yeah. And, talk to a therapist or a counselor.
I've got lots of names, guys.
Lots of those. If you need one, call Mindy. I just call Mindy. Be supportive and understanding. Like, if somebody comes to you and they are telling you that they're struggling with these, be supportive and understanding. It might not be something that you're experienced in, but know that this is something that really does happen to people. Mm-hmm. And if society says that we're supposed to be this way and we're not, then we need to be supportive of that person,
mm-hmm. But there's a thin ice there, I think. Be supportive and understanding. But if it starts taking away from your mental health, reassess the situation.
Yeah. Be a sounding board for that person, which I think is what you and I are for each other. We're a sounding board. Mm-hmm. We listen to each other. We give feedback.
It's kind of like that. We listen and we don't judge. But I do listen and I judge.
But so there are very many invisible external forces that put societal pressures on mothers, which can lead to guilt, shame, feeling not being good enough. I feel you and I talk about this all the time, that we feel like we're not good enough, because I feel like social media puts out there that this mom is going to do all these things and this is how this mom does, and they stock their fridge this way and they do all these things. I don't do that shit.
Well, I run downstairs and I look at my fridge and I'm like, oh shit, I'm failing.
I don't do all those things. I have my own that I set for myself, but I'm not the TikTok mom you're going to see doing all those things, right? I'm not going to cut your sandwiches into hearts. It's not going to happen.
No, but you sure as shit can have a Sprite and a Twinkie for running late to school.
And also recognizing the root cause of the pressure and the dismantling of the vitality. And the first step is showing up and exposing the external pressures.
Right.
You know, and setting those aside. So like, you know, for years, mothers are the people who take care of the kids, the house, they cook, they clean, they do the laundry, they do all those things, right? Well, guess what? Today I didn't do any of those. And I didn't want to.
Well, it's a rough, I mean, it's such a big expectation because nowadays moms are working.
Yeah.
Moms are contributing and there are more single parents out there than there ever have been. Yeah. And even, this isn't even about a single parent. This is about, you work.
Yeah, I work.
You're in a happy marriage. But it is, we work now.
Yeah. But it's about setting your own standard and your own goals as a mother. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Because I feel like if I were to compare myself to somebody else, then guess what? I'm not doing all the things that mom does.
So it's like my laundry's not done, but guess what I did do? And I felt really good. I got all the laundry put in the laundry room in a big ass pile.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I'll do a load of laundry tomorrow.
Yeah. But if you're comparing yourself to anyone else or to any invisible, made up universal standard that norms have fooled us into believing, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
You're fucked.
Mm-hmm. You'll never find happiness.
No. Because we are powerful, we are awesome, and we are there for our kids. We are like the rest of what everybody else is saying is just noise. Mm-hmm. And if we sit there all day long and we look at TikTok and we look at Instagram and we do all those things, then guess what? I'm not going to be that mom. It's not going to happen.
Nope. I've tried.
I can pretend to be. I can act like I'm going to do all those things. But guess what? Monday, after I go to work and I come home on Tuesday, I'm not going to be that mom.
Nope.
I've been awake for over 24 hours. I'm not going to do anything. You know, you're lucky if I give you a Lunchable because I'm tired.
I went down the other day and I cleaned up. I thought I had a lot of food until I started cleaning my fridge out. And then I was like, this is all bad. This is all expired.
Yeah.
And I went grocery shopping, obviously, because I am a good mom. But I don't. Sometimes my kid will go down and she'll be like, what's for dinner? Whatever you want. I'm so freaking tired. I've worked all day.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to lay in my bed. I'm so tired. My kid will go down and she'll have cheese and crackers and an applesauce.
Yeah.
And some days that's my best.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
So we don't need to. I mean, I look at these moms and sometimes I look at you and that's when I come over and eat. But it's different for everybody.
It is.
Everybody's best and everybody's expectation. And you know, honestly, what another woman wants for her family is not what I want for mine.
No.
So we got to be very careful on how we're judging another mother.
Yeah.
Or how we're looking at them because everybody's best, everybody's dreams, everybody's goals, everybody's expectation is different. So stay in your own freaking lane and just do your best. Don't look at anybody else's life and say, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And do you know how many times I drive up and I'm like door dashing and I drive up to a really phenomenal house and my car's like on its last leg and I see somebody driving like this beautiful car. It's like I want to throw their food at the front door because I'm like, God, I would give anything to just live this life where I can just buy this fancier stuff and not have to work my ass off every single freaking day just to put groceries in.
Yeah.
But then I remember that I love the life I live.
Yeah.
I don't need the fancier stuff to be happy.
Yeah.
So then I get back in my car and I'm like, good job. We're making it another day, right?
You know, I've realized like, even though like Tyler and I are in a good place right now, we're making more money than we ever have. We can afford to pay our bills. We can afford to put groceries in the kitchen and feed our kids. I think I look at it though, and I'm like, okay, do I want more? Not really. The extra stuff that I want is like going on those little getaways with my kids or, you know, helping out a friend or I can't imagine having all of this and society says that I'm supposed to like live it up, right? I'm supposed to be able to do all these things because now I have a little bit of more extra money than I did.
You're like, but I don't want that.
But I don't want it. And I'd rather give that to somebody else too. So I'm just that type of person, If I hear that somebody needs food, well, fuck, I've got extra food. I'm going to give it to you. I don't think that I need to have it all. I'd rather
see, and that's
it.
the thing is I have a very specific person in my life who tells me that I should want more. And this is a person that I have recently had to 100% cut out of my life.
Yeah.
But she kept putting these expectations on my life.
Yeah.
Right. And I looked up to her as a mentor. And I realized that I, for so long, was living a life to make her proud of me.
But it was a standard she was putting on you,
it
right?
was such a high standard. Like, why are you shopping in the clearance aisle? Right? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And so then I stopped doing all this and tried to live a life that she wanted for me,
Yeah.
And the other day, new year, new me. I don't know. I lost it.
Yeah.
I said some mean stuff, hung up and blocked her. And when I was talking to my therapist about it, my therapist was like, I said, the way I lost it was probably not the most mature. And she's like, it's okay. You're a beginner,
Yeah.
But the way I felt, because in that moment, I set fire to all these expectations that she was placing on me. And I realized that I love the clearance aisle. I love using coupons. I love a good deal. I don't need a fancy couch. My couch right now is peeling because it's leather.
You know what?
I don't need that to be happy.
Here's something that I'm going to tell you. And it was something that you said to me was this person told you that you shouldn't focus on saving money and that you and I shouldn't be focusing on saving money and it would make us more poor.
Yes, because the law of attraction comes into play.
Yeah. And here's the deal. If there are people out there that cannot focus on saving money and still have money, great for you. I'm so happy you can live that life.
I'm not one of them.
I'm not one of those people. And I have not practiced saving money for a very long time.
Let me ask you a question, Dar. Let me ask you a question. This is honest. So Dari and I recently got these little books, right? It's supposed to be like this money saving challenge, right? And our goal is to accomplish this. And every day or every week, you're supposed to set aside a certain amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
How much joy when you sat there and opened that book? Okay, I had $12.
Yeah.
And I filled up some of my goals with those $12.
Yeah.
How much joy did it bring you when you had your $30 and you were filling your book up?
Oh, I felt so good about myself.
Just $30.
Yeah.
But how many times do you open that book? And there might only be $1 in every envelope.
How many times have I called you and I'm like,
how good do you feel every time you look at that?
I feel so good about it.
Right. So what is so wrong? If something makes you feel good.
Exactly. But here's the thing too, is like, standard wise, I should have all this money saved.
Yeah, you should have $100,000 in your savings right now.
Realistically, I can't do that. So I'm taking the money that I do have that I can save and I'm putting it away now.
Well, obviously, if we had $100,000 in our savings account, don't you think we would actually own a home right now?
Oh, we have.
But we don't.
Yeah.
But when I open my book up, when I go into my workroom and I open it up and got to call Dar. I'm like, guess what? I still got $12
Yeah, I've got money in my emergency folder.
Tomorrow I fill up
a debt folder.
I fill up another one for $4 and it's just going to increase. And that to me brings me happiness. And it by no means, you know what? Somebody else there probably doesn't need to do it because they have $12,000 in their savings account. You know what? That's good for you. But that's not an expectation I'm setting for myself. My expectation is if I can put $1 away a day, and that's what I have, I am going to find so much joy in that $1 bill. In fact, now when I'm out and about, if I find a penny, I've always picked up the pennies, always picked up the dimes. I look like a hobo on the street, just picking up the extra change. But let me tell you something. It brings me joy.
Yeah.
And it brings me joy to go to the store and go to the clearance aisle because every now and then I find a treasure. I call them treasure. It's me and my daughter find so much joy in there.
Yeah.
We call them treasure shopping.
Yeah.
Because it is, if I can save a dime, I don't even care if it's a penny.
But so this person set this expectation on you that you unrealistically can't meet because you're not living the same lifestyle. You're not bringing in the same income. You're not doing the same things. You don't own a home yet. So in reality, yeah, that would be great if those expectations were reachable.
Yes.
Right. And do we strive to have those kind of expectations for ourselves?
Hell
Fuck
yeah.
we do. Fuck, I wish
But when you look at it, when the expectation is, I challenge you to go out and spend $1,000 on yourself. I have $10.
Yeah. Where am I going to get the
I have
where am
to
I gonna get the
save that
$1,000?
$1,000 to do that. It's not that I wake up every single day and go, I'm poor, and victimize myself for it. I wake up every morning with the mentality of, good morning, Baltimore. Today I'm going to save $2 or more, right? And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But if I want to save money at the gas pump from using my Smith's card, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to feel bad for it, nor am I going to live somebody else's expectations.
Yeah,
Because
but also, who's to say that, like, if I go and buy, okay, so I just went to Sam's Club and I bought bulk items, right? So beginning
which
of the
saves
year,
in the long run.
yes, which is, saving to me. So we bought, paper towel, toilet papers, laundry soap, those things, garbage bag, the things that you don't want to buy every time you go grocery shopping. In the long run, that's going to save me on my grocery bill until they run out, and then I got to go buy more, right? Which will probably be in about 4 months, 5 months. But in those 4 or 5 months, I've saved money not spending stuff on those things and putting it away.
See, and I love that. And see, this is like clearly where I become trashy because I'm the one that's sitting on the toilet going, shit, we are fucking out of toilet paper. But see, it's fine. See, this is where you can't compare yourself to somebody else.
You know what's funny is when we brought it home, we had 2 extra like big packages of it, right? Uh-huh. And I was like, I wonder if I should get one of those at Mindy.
One time I came over here and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta do some laundry. I'm out of dryer sheets. I'm out of laundry soap, actually, come to think of it. And she sends me home with it, and then she sends me home with sage to go clean the vibes of my house. And I'm like, love you, best. Thanks. And then I'm set.
You always come over and you leave with something.
I am never prepared.
But every time I go to Drew's, I leave with something.
I can put that in my calendar. Make sure to buy toilet paper.
There you go.
Buy paper towels. Because I am so on the go. I'm constantly going. That I don't keep inventory of what I need. I don't.
Yeah.
But I should, because then it would save in the long run, because I am the one going to Smith's paying full price, $9 for one thing of freaking paper towels, right? That does not last me long because the amount of times I clean my house is unreal. Mm-hmm. But this is where, guys, this is an example of don't look at somebody else and compare. Because if you are the Dari that is more bulk prepared in the long run, that's great. And if you're more like me, who doesn't know you're out of toilet paper, so you sit down and you go, all right, Mac, bring me the one from your room. We're out. Go downstairs. We're out. Do we have any tissues in this house? Bring me the paper towels. We're out. Bring me a rag. Then that's when you know you need to get toilet paper.
Yeah.
But also, that is who I am too.
Yeah.
That's what makes me me.
Yeah.
Right? So,
and there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
And
but you know what I am good at?
Tell you there is.
But you know what I am good at? I might not be good at doing all that, but you know what I am good at? So this is where we all are good at something.
Yeah.
I'm not prepared, but I'm really good down to the dollar that I know what I need to do with my money. Yeah. I go out every single day without that 9-to-5 job and I make it happen. And I have a goal to set that I'm going to make money, whether it's through one of my 30 jobs, and I make it happen.
Yeah.
So I might suck at making sure I have toilet paper in my house, but as a single mom who has no promised income from one day to another, I am by myself doing all the work, making the bills, and I can make it happen. So when you feel like you're failing in one area of your life, just remember there's an area of your life that you are extremely good at that another person wishes that they could have. I wish for the life of me that I knew how to crock pot and buy toilet paper in advance. And
I wish for the life of me I was really good at money, but I'm not. That's why my husband takes care of that part, because I am not good with money.
See,
I am not good with numbers.
I know what I need from day to day. I know what I have to spend. I know, and it's not that I I don't even sit there and look at my account. I know in my head. I can count it in my head. Like, honestly, one of my dream job would be to help people with their finances. Because I sit there from moment to moment. Like when I'm at work and I'm like, okay, I just earned $12 there. Or I just cleaned someone's litter box for $5, 17. I need to do this. Okay, I got to go do this. Okay, I got to go make one extra order from my business. And I hit my goal.
Yeah.
And then I go to bed and I'm sleeping like a baby. But
see, and I don't have that. I don't, money and numbers have never made sense in my head. So, you know,
see, but then that's a choice.
But it was a standard too growing up that like I understood it and I never could. They just don't make sense to me.
It's a choice. The way I live my life, it's how I choose because it's what makes me happy.
Yeah.
I don't want a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
Because I would tell my boss off and I'd be fired by day 2. I don't want to get up and do my hair fancy and wear fancy clothes just to go make an income, just to go home and do it all over again.
Well, see, and society says that I should either be a stay-at-home mom and I should be doing all these things for my kids and I should be like driving a minivan. But I'm not going to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
And society says that if I'm going to stay home, then I need to do all these things at home too. Well, I'm not going to do those things either.
No.
I'm going to maybe do some of them. See, but I feel like what I have set in myself, in the last year, I've come up with a good system for myself. My husband works more now, so I have become more at home, but I'm still my own person. I do my own things. I have the podcast. I'm going to start going to the gym. I do things with my kids. I plan things with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing all the stuff that Pinterest and Instagram and TikTok tell me that I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm doing my own version of them and they look just as good. They're not as pretty and I'm not going to video them for the internet, but they work and my kids are happy. So why would I fucking give a shit?
Yes.
And standard wise, I'm not going to meet the standard of cutting your sandwiches into stars. It's not going to happen. No,
I ain't doing that. And you're lucky if you're even going to get a sandwich, but it's just do you.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't do drugs, and don't murder anybody. Obviously, there's a line between what you should and shouldn't
do. But also, don't feed into TikTok. Don't feed into Instagram.
Don't compare your life to other social media.
Side of it. As soon as that video is done recording, that person's like, get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Then there's people like me and you that aren't afraid to create a video and go, get the fuck out of here right now, on camera in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
I just told our kids
I would rather live authentically true to myself and not try to change who I am, but try to meet small expectations to better myself, but better myself mentally.
I feel like for a while, I myself have tried to put myself into a standard that I was trying to reach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've lived my whole life outside of a standard. Right? I didn't graduate high school when I was supposed to. I didn't go to college when I was supposed to. I didn't ever fit a standard that ever fit into a box.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I didn't do my hair the way everybody else did. I didn't wear my makeup the way you wanted me to. I didn't dress the way everybody wanted me to. I was too fat to fit into half the clothes I wanted to fit into. So I've always lived outside of a standard anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to continue. I'm not going to try and fit a standard for somebody or society or anybody else because I don't fit that standard. I am the mom with a mohawk. I am the mom who dresses in fucking band t-shirts and Rob Zombie shirts. And if you don't like it, look away. I'm not going to fit into a box or a standard that somebody else is going to like.
When I hated myself the most?
What?
When I would wake up in the morning and I would go downstairs and I would make sure my makeup was done.
Yeah.
And my hair was curled. And my clothes matched.
Yeah.
And then when I went out into the world, I felt more like somebody I wasn't than somebody I am. But the me that wakes up and cares more about having some coffee in the morning and making me some eggs than I care about having eyelashes on.
Yeah.
That is when I was more myself.
Yeah.
Because I was being myself. I am not one to care what I look like.
Yeah.
I like to go out and meet my goals. I don't care what I look like. Obviously, I shower. I'm not dirty. But making myself look like a Barbie, makes me hate myself.
Yeah,
because I'm trying to be somebody I'm not.
Yeah,
But getting up and being me, and that is usually with a hat on and my hair's in a ponytail and I'm wearing my best, fanciest sweats I can, sometimes in my slippers all day. And sometimes I'm the one that's smelling my armpits going, did I put deodorant on?
Yeah.
I did. I'm good. We're good. Right? I'm more happy. And I say that because I'm more happy when I'm not trying to be something I'm not.
Yeah.
But trying to be somebody that I am and just building on who I already am.
But I feel like because I've always been that person, I don't set a standard for anything. Like, even in my job, like I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to show people who I'm with 24/7 a lot of the times. And I work with a lot of people who I'm friends with outside of work. So I'm not showing you somebody else.
You
outside
are,
of
and
work.
one thing I will give you a lot of validation and credit for is you are really good at remaining who you are.
Yeah.
You're not a chameleon.
No.
You go into an environment and you are just Dari.
Yeah.
See, and I have, when I hit my massive mom rep, I try to be somebody that I wasn't.
Yeah.
To fulfill some kind of void that I felt like I had.
Like a standard.
Yeah. And
but do you ever, here's a question for you before we end the pod. Do you ever feel like the standard that you're trying to reach is always somebody who set that standard for you?
Every standard I try.
Even though like it's a societal standard, it's always somebody else who's placing that standard on us, right?
100%.
And as much as I would love to say that, like, even for my parents, like I will try to reach your standard. And I did for a very long time try to reach the standard that my parents set for me. And I always went the wrong way.
And that is where we find that sweet surrender.
Yeah.
And realizing that, is this my standard or is this somebody else's? Because the only standards I'm trying to meet are the ones of myself.
Well, and I feel like even though like the standards that my parents set for me, like growing up and as a teenager and as a young adult, I feel like they set these standards and they were like, they'd hound me about getting them done or doing these things. And I never did them. I did it on my own time.
Mm-hmm.
And I will always do it that way.
Well, and when somebody tries to tell you to be something, you need to do this, you need to do this. I have the personality that it's like, I'm going to do everything you just told me not to do. And I will be so good at it that I'm going to F up my life. But at the end of the day, everybody, I guess the moral that I think both of us are just trying to set here is just set your own expectations. If that expectation is, you know what, today my goal is just to get out of bed. Yeah. You know what, bitch, you're doing great.
Don't fall for society standards and you don't have to be the mom that's...
Because that $10 that you have in savings versus that person that has 100,000, that $10 is just as good as that 100,000.
You worked just as hard.
You worked just as hard for that $10.
I promise you.
And I will promise you, the harder you work in just $1 a day, that dollar is going to matter so much more versus that 100,000 that somebody got from some fancy business. That the harder you work, the more it's going to mean. It's kind of like if somebody was to give you a car.
Yeah.
You aren't going to take as good of care of that car that was just handed down to you versus the car that you spent years and years trying to manifest or get.
Yeah.
And when you finally get it, you take better care of it because you worked for it.
Well, I also think it's just to remember that, there's standards out there. And I think it's important to set your own standards and to reach your own goals and to do those things, but also not be the parent that you are like, don't be this person who you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And don't try to fit into anybody else's box because from my own experiences is guess what? If I were to fit into somebody else's box, I wouldn't be me and you wouldn't be you.
Right.
And so
just be you.
Yeah.
Be you, do you.
And if there's some mom standard that you want to share, hit us up on Facebook and get on Facebook and listen to our song.
Yes. Please listen to the song. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful week.
Yeah, have a good one.
And follow us on Facebook if you aren't already. It's No Bullshit Moms.
Yep.
On Facebook. And we love you guys. Just do your best.
And take some time for yourself.
Okay. Have a good one.
Bye.
Stay tuned next week for the world premiere of Dari and Mindy, the song. This song will be released in place of a podcast episode because it gives us time to think of what the hell we're going to do for the next episode.